Hey guys, so the people have spoken and we're gonna make a bass with a saw. So since I'm not allowed to do anything else than a saw wave in the bass patch, we're just gonna have to do a ton of stuff in post-processing to make this sound good. So what I'm gonna do is just put this 12 up and 12 down, and we're gonna make a phrase out of this. So what I'm gonna do now is just do some pitch bending to make this sound like an actual growl. So what you're gonna learn in this video is probably like some basic things about making growls and like how to like post-process growls and not make growls just from Serum, because making growls just in Serum is not how growls are actually made, because you need a ton of post-processing to make it sound good. So now we got this. So we're gonna make this move a little bit with some vowels. So I'm gonna add an auto filter, and I'm gonna use a band pass because I'm gonna make a rack out of this, and I'm gonna route this to macro 1 and then put this red because I like adding colors to stuff. So we're gonna use the mapping in order to choose the minimum and maximum value. So in the minimum, I just want the auto filter to be about there, and the maximum value, I want it about there. So now we got this to work with. So I'm just gonna start doing some automation like this, and I'm just gonna copy this over here to make it a bit easier. Okay, so now we got this. So what we're gonna do from here is adding some OTTs, because what we did here is we removed some of the high end. So what OTT does, because it's like OTT is like 3 different compressors right here, and it levels out the whole sound, and then it's gonna try to create its own high end. So that's how it sounds so thick. So it sounds obviously a lot better now. Maybe add one more or one more. So now it sounds pretty fat, right? So I'm gonna add my fat rack with just a sausage fattener, little radiator, dimension expander, and some camel fat, and I'm gonna add some stereo. Now you can kind of hear that the vowel starts to fade away. So we're gonna add another auto filter, just duplicate this so the automation stays the same. But now you can hear that the high end is gone again. So we're gonna just make this a high pass. Make this 12 maybe, so it's not that sharp. So what we're gonna do now is maybe add some EQing. And what I love to do with growls is just to make a dip somewhere in here. I don't know, it just sounds like it's phasing. And speaking of phasers, we're gonna add another phaser. The thing about phasers in growls is that you don't want the phaser to be moving at all, because then the vowel like stays the same even though it's still high passing and all that stuff. So right now you can hear that it actually sounds like a growl already. So I'm gonna put this at like 700 to 800. I like it like that. Like that, and I'm gonna put up the feedback because that's like the vowel, and I'm gonna put it like halfway and then turn down the dry wet. Then I'm gonna use a saturator. I'm just trying out stuff, so I just want to distort this like that, maybe. Yeah, sounds good. So yeah, now that that's done, maybe we could add another auto filter. Okay, I'm just gonna add another auto filter to remove the high end once again, and then we can repeat the process, and then it just sounds better for each time. So this time, instead of making it so sharp like in the beginning, I'm just gonna use the 12. Then I'm gonna use the OTTs once again, and now it sounds really like thick. So I'm gonna use a rack that I love, It's one of my favorite racks. So what this rack does is, so you split the low end and high end. This is the low and this is the high. The low end is essentially just a cut like this, and the low end, you're gonna boost the low end and create like a dip right here, and then you're gonna saturate that so the low end gets distorted like hell, so it like crunches up the high end.
Sometimes all this tons of saturation actually makes it sound a little more beefy if the sub is inside the patch and it kind of crunches the top end up. Yeah.
And then we just remove the low end and we keep the clean low and mid range from the other EQ. I'm gonna replace this saturator with this one, and now you can hear that the high end is kind of crunched and distorted. I'm gonna add another EQ because I noticed that the bass is super high, like that, and I'm gonna just do some fine tunings like this, and I'm gonna maybe try to add another fat rack, make it more stereo again, and then we're just gonna crank this shit. So it's this time again where we just repeat the phaser so it sounds vowel-y again. Trying to find the best location for the frequency and feedback. Yeah, I like it right here. So I'm just gonna add another EQ to do more EQing. I think that's the best I could do. Yeah, adding more would just make it more distorted and stuff. So yeah, that's how you can make a super simple growl with just a saw wave. But in addition to this, just to show you guys what you can actually do with this stuff. For example, you could add another saw wave, put it a half a semitone up, and then you could maybe FM this. So yeah, it's all up to you. So hope you guys learned something about post-processing growls in this video. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next one or next video. Bye.